Welcome back to Inside Look, a segment here on Inside Ambition where we take a deep dive into something that's happening at or around Drexel. I'm Alexandra George. Happy New Year and happy new quarter, and happy new season of our show. We have a brand new YouTube channel now, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video. If you like what we're doing here at Inside Ambition, please share our channel with any Drexel students you may know. It's hard to believe that this January marks the fourth quarter of virtual courses here at Drexel. But fourth time's the charm? Colleges and universities all over the country have enlisted the help of task forces and health experts to bring students back to campus safely in 2021. And as much as we like to think we are special here at Drexel with co-op and the quarter system and a 10 out of 10 wood-bang mascot, Drexel University is no different than any other school with this hope in mind. But of course, there have been a few hiccups in this pursuit. Nothing sticking your head upside down and holding your mouth and nose shut for 20 to 30 minutes can't fix though. With 1 in 1,000 Americans dead from COVID and cases skyrocketing across the country, it makes sense that most schools have opted to stay virtual, some of which have even canceled the rest of in-person courses for the year. Other universities brought back things like in-person housing and dining this past fall, but have decided to suspend them for the spring semester. And I'm sure, as you are well aware, though classes will remain virtual here at Drexel for now, drumroll please, Drexel is reopening housing for the first time since March. Woohoo! I think. So what does this mean for the incoming residents? What about first-year students? With no roommates or lounges to interact in, how are they going to establish roots here at Drexel? And what about the RAs? Is the university doing enough to support them? Now, let's take an inside look. President Fry announced on Monday, December 21st, that winter term move-in and face-to-face classes would be delayed. RAs moved in on January 2nd, and all other residents are set to move in throughout the week of the 16th. So, is this a good thing? A bad thing? Should it be happening? Will it actually happen? Let us know what you think in the comments below. I mean, you know what they say, res hall openings can't wait. In Fry's most recent message to the Drexel community, he emphasized how important it is for us all to remain flexible. I don't know about you, but considering how flexible I've been since March, I should be able to do the splits by now. With the state of the pandemic and our own institution's future constantly in flux, many students are being asked to reevaluate their plans for return. Not to mention, there is still no guarantee of housing for anyone at this point, even after people have moved back in. Drexel could decide to close the halls at any moment based on their own reasoning or because of city guidelines. Couple of things here that are important to note. 1, students will receive an adjustment on their e-bill by the end of January for their housing and dining charges to reflect the change in the calendar. Yay, money! 2, during the remote learning period starting today, January 11th, students are strongly discouraged from returning to campus or participating in any group gatherings. I see you, bro. I know you got a cute fit over the holidays that you want to flaunt in front of all your friends, but don't do it. And 3, it's been a solid 9 months since I have had that delectable cuisine from the Wawa at 34th and Market. I know that's not really important information, I just wanted someone to know. If you're watching this, please bring me a grilled cheese and a mint Oreo shake ASAP. And wow, I mean, can I just say, what a plot twist that the reopening plan evolved only a week and a half after its initial release. I truly did not see this coming. I feel like usually Miss Coronavirus is super chill. She's always really forgiving and totally predictable. She gives us plenty of time in advance to figure these things out, right? One student demographic that has struggled through the unpredictability of housing since the start of the pandemic are the RAs. Positions were offered in the fall and then revoked, and many feared that the same would happen this winter. If you don't know what an RA is, you're probably a transfer student or a commuter. Or maybe your RA was just busy cramming for the MCATs or just got into a new relationship your first year. An RA, or a resident assistant, facilitates the social, academic, and personal growth of students in res halls. According to a message from Housing and Residence Life, along with a small monthly stipend, RAs also receive free room and board for their work. Other than ratting you out when you make the entire building smell like the devil's lettuce, or telling you to quiet down once it passes 10 p.m. on a school night, RAs do a lot of work. This past quarter, there were about 50 residents living on campus between Race and Stiles Hall, with a staff of about 10 RAs to support them. These RAs had a lot to report from their experience, and it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, or hugs and kisses, or crowded spaces and indoor dining. I don't know, whatever makes you happy these days. They cited issues including maintenance workers not wearing masks, increased expectations for shifts at the front desk, and being left out of the loop when a resident had tested positive or was quarantining because of COVID-19. In anticipation of the reopening of all res halls, this winter, returning RAs put together a list of demands for HRL and Drexel administration ahead of Fry's latest email. The demands were in reference to the following: accessible testing, personal protective equipment, contact tracing, hazard pay, housing guarantee, accountability for all, and support for HRL professional staff. Not only were RAs uniquely affected by the timely decision to close university housing due to the pandemic, but they are now responsible for reopening university housing safely and making sure that first-year students have a sense of community on their floors, which isn't going to be easy. As many of you know, according to phila.gov, Philadelphia County is currently regarded as a high-risk transmission community. With guidelines in the city, they've only tightened over recent months. Housing and Residence Life, or HRL, has implemented a strict no-guest policy for the winter quarter, as well as mask mandates, and they've made all rooms singles in traditional dorms. All lounges will be locked, and communal spaces like kitchens will be limited to one person at a time. I can't say I'd be upset by a one person at a time bathroom restriction though, and have all 8 stalls to myself? I can't be the only one whose dream it is to plank across all of the stalls. Come on! Additionally, Drexel has now instituted a COVID-19 testing plan in order to address safety concerns. According to President Fry, students and Phase 1 through 4 employees will undergo baseline COVID testing at the start of the term. Students will then be asked to quarantine until they receive their negative test results, and meals will be provided as they wait. Nothing like that good urban grub. As of this taping, all residents in Drexel res halls and ACC housing will be tested weekly. If residents refuse to comply, they will face conduct consequences and lose access to their buildings. So unless you want to be sleeping on the sidewalk, you better make sure you're getting tested regularly. Students not included in the required testing program will still be able to schedule a COVID-19 test at Drexel on a voluntary basis. Everyone on campus will also be required to check into the Drexel Health Tracker app daily to log their symptoms. Drexel has a comprehensive contact tracing plan in place, so it is crucial that everyone comply to avoid an outbreak. I know the Drexel Health Tracker has a bad rep, but we gotta do what we gotta do in a global pandemic. And I mean, they could have made the app like Among Us style, and if you're an imposter, it means you have COVID. Or you're showing symptoms. That would be pretty cool. And come on, y'all, this is a perfect opportunity. I mean, we all know that we're better than Temple, but since we can't kick their little owl behinds in a football game, let's show them up by properly enacting COVID restrictions and keeping everyone on campus and the surrounding community safe. That'll show them. According to Dr. Janet Cruz, Director of Student Health Services here at Drexel, the majority of people in our general demographic, young adults, college stage, with crippling anxiety and imposter syndrome, most of us have been symptomatic after infected by COVID. Studies show that you are contagious up to 2 days before you even start showing symptoms. So even if you think you're healthy, it's really, really important to always be following social distancing guidelines, washing your hands, and wearing a mask. There were surges on campus after the most recent holidays, with cases at 3.5% after Halloween and 4% after Thanksgiving. Hopefully y'all were smart over winter break. Wait, who am I kidding? I know people weren't smart over winter break. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Veronica. I saw your Instagram pictures. I am sure that you're tired of hearing the rhetoric about how important it is to protect the surrounding community. I mean, it hasn't exactly gotten through to most people. And you're probably not worried about the death rate or the symptoms for our demographic either. But COVID still affects us, every single one of us. Just think about it. The incoming first-year students, RAs, and so many others who depend on Drexel housing. Not to mention the people who rely on their jobs in the restaurant and retail industries to survive. Just think about all the opportunities you missed out on this past quarter and the others prior. Think about how you would be living your best life, your college years, seen COVID. Okay, now quit lying to yourself. It wouldn't have been that amazing. You probably would have canceled half those plans anyways, but it still would have been better. And now that we have a vaccine, there is an end in sight. But that doesn't mean this is anywhere close to over. The journey will be a lot easier if we all look out for each other and everyone follows the mandates appropriately. Okay, that's my 2 cents. Now we all want to hear from you. Do RAs deserve better treatment and greater stability for all they provide the university? Should Drexel have even reopened housing? How long do you think this is going to last? Sound off in the comments below. And as always, to stay up to date with all of our content, make sure to follow our Instagram at inside_ambition and subscribe to our brand new YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.